So I have this function that I invented here, and I have 6 questions that are asking me about it. So the first one was, what is the domain and the range of the function g? So I call this function g. So the domain are all of the x values that are valid in this function. So if I look at my far left here, I can see I'm starting at -4, and I have valid x values all the way up to +4. So my domain, it does not include -4 because that's a big open circle there. So it goes from -4 to 4, but the 4 on the right is included because it's a solid circle there. So my domain is going all the way from there to there. My range is kind of the opposite. I want to go my valid y values. So I'm going to look at my lowest y value. Well, my lowest y value, I can see over here I have -1 that's not included. But over here I have -1 that is included. So my lowest y value, so we'll call this D, and we'll call this R. My lowest y value is -1, which is included, has a bracket, and I get as high as +2, which is also included. So there's my range. Yes, please.
So why do you choose the included one?
I'm sorry, what?
Why do you choose the included -1 instead of the open circle?
Instead of the open circle one? So I'm looking at the function, and I just want to know, in this entire function, what is my lowest y value? So my lowest y value is -1. Over here, my lowest y value is, -0.9999999999999, right? But my lowest y value is this y value here. Does that make sense? Sure? Okay. Okay. The next one was caused probably the most aggravation of the whole test. It says, what are the intervals, and the key word here is intervals, where our function is less than or equal to 0. Missed it? Okay. So a number of people like kind of picked points. But so what I want to look at here is when I'm asking for an interval, I'm saying what are the x values where our function, our g of x, is less than 0. So for me, it's easiest to kind of make a line. So right here, it's less than or equal to 0. Up here in the red, it's not less than or equal to 0. My f of x or my g of x is greater than 0 all here. Well, right at that spot right there, it looks like it's equal to 0. All of this red here is not, it does not satisfy what I'm looking for. It is not less than or equal to 0. But then, right here again, I start being less than or equal to 0. Does that make any sense? Yes, please, Al.
So you had to do it in like the interval notation?
Yeah. Yeah. Or you could have said between. I think a couple people said, between -4 and 3.5 or whatever. Yes. Instead of putting it in interval notation. I mean, I like interval notation, but I don't. If somebody had got it right without it, I wouldn't have taken up any points. All right. So the answer to this one was this interval right here. So on B, the answer was from the interval -4, which is not included because it's not part of my function, all the way, it looks like it's about 3.5 to -3.5. And then a union, I come back over to here, +3.5 to 4. Actually, this would be included, and the 4 would also be included. The only thing that wouldn't be included here would be the -4 right over here, because that's an open circle point. So from x values of -4 up to 3.5 is included, is less than or equal to 0, and from +3.5 down to positive 4 is less than or equal to 0. Yeah.
What about that negative to 0?
The negative 2, 0. You know, as I was just explaining this problem, I think actually that probably should have also been there. So did I mark it wrong?
I did something different, but I was just wondering, like.
Yeah, but I think that point right there also should be included as like it was just a like negative 2.
So that's how you would write it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I really wasn't even thinking about that. Yes, please.
Why is are you in brackets?
What?
When you put brackets.
Okay. So what I'm asking for is where is a function less than or equal to 0? So at negative 4, x equals negative 4, there is nothing there. But it starts right there, and it is less than 0. You see why it's less than 0, right? Okay. And I get up here to 3.5, and the point x equals 3.5, the function is less than or equal to 0. It's equal to 0 right there. So at 3.5, that is included in the interval. Okay? And then over here, again, positive 3.5 is included in the interval, as is positive 4. That's why they have brackets. Is that okay? Yes, Olive. Well, the question is asking me, where is g of x less than or equal to 0? And at negative 2, it's touching the axis right there, so it is equal to 0. So that will be included. Yeah? Okay?